Kia ora, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, markets are starting to price in the return of US inflation in 2025 and perhaps the end of US Fed rate cuts, although there still could be a last hurrah in December. In the US, the CPI inflation rate rose to 2.6% in October from 2.4% in September. This is the expected rise, but it is the first rise in 7 months. In March, it was running at 3.5%. The closely watched core inflation rate held at 3.3%. Given that the new US administration policies are expected to be strongly inflationary, the US Fed will have a challenge on its hands to retain the gains they've won post-pandemic. But it seems that markets are still pricing in the US Fed to cut rates again when they next meet on December the 19th New Zealand time. After falling in each of the past 6 weeks, US mortgage applications were little changed last week to be little changed from the same week a year ago. And US household debt rose on a gross basis to $17.9 trillion in the third quarter of 2024. Half of the increase in mortgage debt is on rising home loan rates. Delinquency rates edged up marginally but remain historically low. Across the Pacific, Japan reported rising producer price inflation, with PPI up 3.4% in October, the highest since August 2023, and the 44th month of PPI gains. In India, they had record passenger car sales in October, helped by unusually having 2 major festivals in the month, each with a history of high consumer spending. Although it is now slowing, wage cost growth in Australia in September was up to 3.5%, a cost pressure on businesses that isn't being matched by output prices or rising productivity. The US Treasury 10-year yield is now just on 4.45% and up 2 basis points from yesterday. And the price of gold will start today at $2,589 an ounce. That's down $10 from yesterday. Oil prices are 50 US cents softer at $68 a barrel in the US, but the international Brent price is unchanged at $72 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar starts today at 58.9 US cents and down 30 basis points from yesterday as the US dollar rises further. The inflationary effect will now start to appear on imports because it has fallen 7.5% since the start of October. Against the Aussie, we're 10 basis points firmer at 90.8 Australian cents. Against the euro, we've slipped 20 basis points to 55.7 euro cents. That all means our trade-weighted index starts today at just on 68.6 and down 20 basis points from yesterday. And the Bitcoin price starts today at $92,520 and up another 6.2% from yesterday. Volatility of the past 24 hours has been very high at just on plus or minus 4.2%. The price in New Zealand dollars has now exceeded $150,000 for 1 Bitcoin for the first time. You can get more news affecting the economy in New Zealand from interest.co.nz. Kia ora, I'm David Chaston, and we'll do this again tomorrow.